Good evening, everyone. My name is John Chaffin. Well, thank you all for coming here tonight. Tonight I want to talk to you guys about texting while driving. Texting while driving is it's very dangerous. It's something that you do while you're driving. It can cause a loss of focus, which can result in accidents and even death. Alright, so we might want to look at some reasons of why do people text while they drive. Alright, one of the reasons is simply because it's convenient. You know, we spend a lot of our times each day in a car, and while we're doing that, you're sitting down already, you can use your phone, and you can communicate as well. So it's a very convenient form of communication. When you're texting and driving is a way to do that. Additionally, people text while they're driving because they just have a lack of understanding. They don't understand all the dangers that are involved with it. They might not know of the risk or of the potential downfalls and pitfalls that come along with texting and driving. And lastly, one of the reasons people text and drive is because they're just overconfident in their abilities. Some people might think, oh, I'm such a good driver, you know, I can use one hand, look at my phone, and I'm not going to be no danger to the road. Or they'll say, well, it's just looking at my phone real quick for 1 second, my eyes are off the road for such a small amount of time, it's no problem. I'm such a good driver that there will not be any danger. So those are some of the reasons why people might text and drive. However, we do need to look at some of the dangers involved with it. Included are the dangers of texting and driving is, like I said earlier, it's a loss of focus. When you lose your focus while you're driving an automobile, which is a very large heavy machine, it takes a lot of power, moves a lot faster than any of us can do by ourselves. And when you're texting, you know, that loss of focus can cause that big machine you're operating to lose control. And with the loss of focus comes some accidents, and of course car accidents can result in serious injury and death. Looking at a few statistics online, such as from the CDC, which is the Center of Disease Control and Prevention, it will give some reasons how texting and driving will cause physiological changes, such as loss of your eye contact with the road, the loss of a cognitive ability for your spatial awareness to see what's around you. So with going on with that, the texting while driving can be very dangerous. Additional on distraction.gov shows a different list of distractions that you can use while you're driving. It also shows lists of statistics of deaths, fatalities, and accidents that occur while you're driving. And I was looking at an article from newsday.com, and it actually shows that texting while driving, accidents that occur from texting and driving, is actually now the leading cause of death amongst teenagers in the United States. So some of these results, some of these negative effects of texting and driving have a very high cost. So now we know a little bit why people might text and drive and some of the costs and the problems resulting from that. It's a good idea to look at some plans or take some steps to prevent texting while driving. Alright, so the first thing you can do to help yourself not text while drive is to educate yourself. Find out, why is it dangerous? Why should I not do that? That education, once you understand why not to text and drive, is the first step into making a plan to not do it. You know, if you don't know what's wrong, then why would you stop? The second thing you do once you know that it's wrong is to formulate a plan. A lot of us when we get in the car, we automatically grab our phones. The first thing we do, and it's just in our hand, and it's habitual. You know, saying you're driving, you have your phone in your hand, it's natural, and it's a hard habit to break. So by formulating a plan, you can, before you get in your car, you can know not to text and drive. Some examples or some ideas you can do would be to shut your phone off. Maybe when you get in your car, put your phone, lock it in your glove box, so you don't have to worry about it. And even a more drastic measure would be contacting your server, your service provider, and just eliminating your texting ability altogether. And by doing that, of course, you know, you don't have to worry about texting and driving. You know that you might see that's a drastic change, but when we look at the cost, you know, sometimes if you weigh that balance, it's just worth it. And lastly, just something you can do to help yourself not text and drive is to consider the cost. Just consider of the consequences of these costs. This here's my son. His name is Paris. He's just turned 14 months today. See, he doesn't know much about texting or driving, really. He doesn't care much about it. But the actions and the results of you and other people can affect him. I don't want Paris to be a statistic. We don't want him to be just another person, another kid who died because someone, you know, had to see, you know, ooh, who was that? So please, just think about why you're texting and driving if it's needed. Think of the dangers and the consequences, and please formulate a plan to not text and drive, so our roads can be safer, and so parents can make it to another year. Thank you.